Part 3. Galleons. The next significant developments in naval warfare were fireship attacks and a new type of sailing vessel, the race-built galleon. The most notorious fireship attack was in 1585, the dreaded Hellburners of Antwerp. The Netherlands had been in revolt against Spanish rule since 1555. The Dutch were successful in the north, where their growing naval and mercantile power was enough to offset the superiority of the Spanish on land. Antwerp, in the south, was under siege by the Spanish. To relieve it, the Dutch rebels tried an amphibious attack using fireships. These included some specially constructed vessels which carried thousands of pounds of gunpowder. This made the Hellburners a 16th century weapon of mass destruction. The Spanish knew that their inventor had offered his services to Queen Elizabeth of England. The last great battle between fleets of galleys had taken place in 1571. At Lepanto, gunfire was a significant factor, but by then neither galleys nor carracks were state-of-the-art. The latest state-of-the-art vessel was the Galleon. It was narrower and lower than the carrack. It had a low forward structure on which cannon were mounted to fire ahead, clean underwater lines, shallow draft, and powerful flexible rigging, including detachable topmasts. They were armed with the latest guns, cast iron or bronze culverins. Able to range out into the Atlantic, they adventured into seas claimed by Spain and Portugal. They also sailed the length of the Mediterranean with impunity. Expeditions such as Drake's voyage around the world added to friction with Spain, which regarded any intrusion into waters it claimed as smuggling, interloping, and piracy. By 1586, a state of undeclared war existed between England and Spain. King Philip of Spain ordered the preparation of an invasion force. The Invincible Armada arrived off the Lizard on the 19th of July, 1588. Bad weather and damage had already reduced it to 127 ships. 20 were warships, the rest were transports. It was a troop-carrying convoy under strict orders to sail to Calais. There they would pick up the Duke of Parma's army and land it in England. Their warships were carracks carrying soldiers, so that we can grapple and board them, as a Spanish officer explained. But the same officer feared the English, who have faster and handier ships than ours, and many more long-range guns, and who know their advantage just as well as we do, will never close with us at all, but stand aloof and knock us to pieces with their culverins, without our being able to do them any serious hurt. The English had 80 ships of the galleon type. 34 belonged to the Queen's Majesty's Navy. The rest were privately owned ships of the same type. English naval tactics had developed to use the firepower of their new ships and guns. They were still trying to fire their guns as far forward as possible by bowing or quartering. They called their method of attacking giving the charge or giving the prow. First, an attacking ship got itself to windward. The English could do this because they had learnt how to tack. Then the attacking ship sailed towards its opponent. When it came within close range, it fired its bow-chase guns and small arms. Then it turned and fired its broadside guns. Finally it turned away and fired its stern-chase guns. The ship reloaded before attacking again. Much of an English warship's armament was concentrated in its bow and stern-chase guns. Drake's Golden Hind of 1571 mounted 4 bow-chase guns and 4 stern-chase guns, but only 7 guns each side. The English sailed in a line-ahead formation, but attacked one after another, then retired to reload. The Armada was armed with such guns as were available. They were of varying types and calibers to be fired before boarding. Even while attacking, the English seemed to have kept their distance so as not to risk this. For both sides, reloading was still a slow process. As they sailed along England's south coast, the Spanish kept their crescent-shaped formation. This was despite repeated English attacks on the wings of the Armada from windward. The English aim was so to course the enemy that they shall have no leisure to land. In fact, the Armada was under strict orders to rendezvous with the Duke of Parma's army in Flanders. It anchored off Calais on the 27th of July, but the Duke of Parma's army was not ready. On the 28th of July, the English improvised an attack by 8 fireships. This time, Spanish discipline failed, possibly in fear of hell-burners. They cut their cables and put to sea without any formation. By the 29th of July, the English had been reinforced and resupplied. They attacked at close range, actually sinking one Spanish ship and driving 2 others aground. The Spanish sailed north, pursued by the English. After a wind change on the 30th of July, the Spanish were able to restore their formation, and the English gave up their pursuit at the Firth of Forth. The Spanish returned home around the north of Scotland and the west of Ireland. Only 67 ships survived English attacks and the autumn gales of the North Atlantic. By 1600, gunfire was becoming more effective at sea, but against the Armada it had not been as effective as the English hoped and the Spanish had feared.